Gathered together from the cosmic reaches of the multiverse, here in a mother's basement are the most powerful forces of nerdiness ever assembled. Lorenzo, Adam, Todd, and their space monkey Gleek. Their mission to fight Snyderbots, enjoy comics, and educate all mankind with Culture Shock's newest podcast, The DC Guys.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the DC Guys episode 3. On today's episode, it's just me and Todd. Adam is not here.
That son of a...
That mother. He actually got sick, so he's taking... Yeah, so we said, we were going to wait, and then we said, no, let's just talk about Creature Commandos. Adam will be back next week, and we'll get his quick thoughts on it.
And we'll also talk about episode 3, too, as well.
Yeah, we'll recap their episode, because that's next week. Well, when this time will be out, it should be out later this week.
Yeah.
So maybe, weekend-ish. I'm not throwing a date out just because. Well, later, but then we'll tell you episode 3. Yeah. And that will be all back. We'll be back on time. Because we had some stuff happened over the weekend. But I'm Lorenzo, like always.
And I'm Todd.
Oh, how was your weekend, Todd? Did you have a fun weekend?
Yeah, I had a lot of fun. I actually went to Pennsylvania.
I know. You went to that con. You met, was it Dewey?
Louie.
Oh, Louie Duck.
I met Louie Duck and,
You met Louie?
Yeah.
This is a DC podcast, but we're going to wait to ask Todd how his con was real quick.
But I mean, it's still a con, still city, Monroeville in Pennsylvania. A lot of fun. I was there for about 20 minutes. I drove 4 hours to get an autograph and walked around the con and left.
Yeah, it sounds like something you would do. I would put that one past you.
And it wasn't the main reason why I was not there is the tickets were a little bit on the pricier side, and Justin couldn't get in.
Oh.
So it was just one of those things that I just want to get in.
Why couldn't Justin get in? He just couldn't.
We just didn't have the money. Oh. Yeah.
So then, what did he do for the 20 minutes while you were in there?
He drove around and he drove around the city but yeah, it was a lot of fun. It really saddens me though the state of what comic book conventions have become. Yeah. Though, because there was really no comic book writers or artists at this con, and it's a thing that I've been noticing more and more.
So that's where this can actually be a benefit to this.
Yeah.
I've met a few DC writers at a few cons. Mm-hmm. DC writers are getting more rare at conventions. It's not even funny.
Yeah.
Tom King was the last DC writer I wanted to meet, and thank God he didn't cancel, because he signed my Wonder Woman #1 that came out for Dawn of DC. Mm-hmm. And I had him also, he did a Batman cover that was the Batman that he signed. It was at his table. And, I talked with him for a bit. Mm-hmm. I talked with him about, because he's also writing, before we get into Creature Commandos, for a lot of people that know, he's writing Lanterns. Yeah. He's one of the creative producers, writers for the Lantern show. And, I talked to him about it, and he said, he didn't confirm it at first, but he goes, it's out there, what I'm on. And I go, it's Lanterns, isn't it? And he didn't say anything. I go, nod yes, or just smile. He smiled, and I was like, oh yeah, he's doing it.
And what happens the following week?
It was literally the following week, and I was, cheering people. I was like, I literally told him as a joke, you are doing Lanterns. And he goes, I'm not doing Lanterns. Mm-hmm. And smiling about it. I already knew what he was doing. Yeah. But, he also, the one book I really recommend by him is Supergirl One of Tomorrow. It is fantastic, let me tell you. And let me tell you, I don't stand for the Tom King slander by people hating him for on the internet because of his, CIA past? Listen, people complain about his writing. Literally, read Supergirl. Yeah. It is really good.
He is a very good writer, given the... if he's given control. Yeah.
This Supergirl of World of Tomorrow. I'm reading it right now. Really good.
Oh, the art in it too is unbelievable.
I love his Danger Street, which he took these D-list, like, who the hell are these characters?
Yeah.
Storyline. Really interesting. But there are stories that, like, when he wrote Batman and he did the Whiting, you could tell that he was on a leash. Mm-hmm. You know, I feel like, you know, the whole wedding thing was an editorial decision.
Yeah.
Like, it feels like the same with Heroes in Crisis. Like,
editorial.
That was an editorial thing. I know for a fact he had a different... It feels like he had a different story, and he was just like, I can't do anything.
Yeah. But from what I've also heard, you say his, was it Mr. Miracle, or Strange Tales, Strange Adventures, is really good.
Yeah. I mean, so, you know, and at the end of the day, there are writers, you know, writers do have bad works, and writers have great works. Tom King's one of those people. You know, my favorite DC writer is Mark Russell. He wrote the Flintstones. He's writing Batman, Space Age, Superman, Space Age, Snagglepuss, all like that.
You have the Flintstones up there on the comic wall. Which I remember first hearing that came out that they were doing Hanna-Barbera comics, and I was like, I don't hate it. I was like, I'm kind of in for it, but I knew, for some reason I knew deep down, I was like, no one knows. Unless you're an older audience, you're not the younger, especially you're not this younger generation. Yeah. You don't know the Flintstones, it's not going to sell.
Yeah. Yeah, the whole line itself, like, the Flintstone line, like, if you didn't know who the Flintstones were, you weren't really... No one was going to pick it up. Yeah. However, it is one of the best books I ever read of that year. I mean, they had
I forgot what year did it come out? So wasn't 2017? No, it might have been earlier.
Might have been earlier. I think it was 2016.
Because I remember there was a lot coming... Because isn't that when they did... Was it Scooby-Doo?
Scooby-Doo Apocalypse, Wacky Raceland, Future Quest.
Yeah, they did a lot of the old... Like I said, they did a lot of the old Hanna-Barbera. Yeah. They're just like, we're going to give Hanna-Barbera a comic line. Which, I feel like now, if you did that, I feel like it would sell.
Yeah.
Now is the perfect time to just start testing with DC Comics. 2016, 2017, that weird year.
Yeah.
Because Batman v Superman left a kind of a taste in everyone's mouth. Suicide Squad left a taste in everyone's mouth. You had Wonder Woman kind of bring back that, hey, you know...
We exist.
We exist. It's good. And then you had Justice League.
Yeah.
There wasn't no... And again, comics weren't also selling. Those, and even if you want to say, like, oh, comics were great those years. No. Because then you also had, to name the other competitor, Marvel, not doing good either. And we see their state of their universe with movies, how they're going off of all that, and it's not doing what you want.
Yeah.
But, you know, we're not here to talk about the comics.
Yeah, we're not here.
We're here to talk about how a reboot universe launched with a cartoon. I would even call them E-list characters. Some of them E-listers.
These are D-list characters.
You get the
maybe Dr. Phosphorus is probably the only, like... Yeah. I would count him as a B-lister. Maybe C-lister.
Yeah, but for right now, they're D-listers.
Yeah.
We're talking about... The main reason we're talking about this episode, why we want to do this episode, was Creature Commandos has aired. It is on Max. The first 2 episodes are out there. You know, if you know James Gunn, you love James Gunn, it's the James Gunn effect. He's taken a group of D-listers that don't get a lot of love, and he's kind of reinventing them for new audiences. You know, we've seen it with... And again, I will always tell people this. As much as they want to say they don't trust James Gunn, he got you to see Guardians of the Galaxy. No one knew who the Guardians were prior before the MCU. No one really cared about them. The Suicide Squad. That movie was a bunch of D-list villains. Yeah. Bloodsport, really? Who knew about Bloodsport?
Polka Dot Man.
Yeah. Well, I mean, people knew about Polka Dot Man because of... There was the Lego Batman movie. They made the joke with him. And wasn't he also in Brave and the Bold, the cartoon?
Yes.
I think he popped up and,
But I mean, stuff. Like, at the end of the day...
But again, you don't care about
the mass audience.
Yeah, the mass audience doesn't care. Another character was Peacemaker. That was a Charleston Comics.
Yep.
Then they got him through the merger with Crisis. He was on a different Earth, and then he was like, hey, I want to use Peacemaker. Again, people knew Harley, cared about Harley. Captain Boomerang, Mongel, no one cared. Weasel, no one cared. Well, Savant, no one cared.
A lot of those characters died.
Well, yeah, my point exactly. And, you know, my favorite tagline was when he was doing that movie was, don't get too attached. Yeah. Because that came to show and told me everything I need to know was, all right, important characters and popular characters are going to die. I was half expecting going in there Captain Boomerang was going to die because I didn't see him in any other shots in the trailer. I was like, oh, he's dead. I was like, we already got him in a movie. He's dead.
My only issue that I really had with the Suicide Squad, because we're talking about all the deaths, it's like, don't get attached to it. Like, okay, it was cool that nice opening number.
Oh, yeah.
Like, but I really wish that, like, maybe one other, like, out of the main team, like, another person died.
Yeah.
Because it's just, like, kind of, it's like, we kind of knew who was going to live and who was going to die through the trailer.
Which, I will say right now, because people are still asking the question, is it canon? Yes, it's canon.
Yeah.
And we'll explain why in a minute. We'll get to that. But yeah, another group of D-list. Ratcatcher 2.
Yeah.
Come on. Like, who... The Thinker even. But that was... You saw The Thinker in The Flash, so if you watched the TV show. But, again, played by Peter Capaldi.
Yeah.
Which were really good. I love Peter Capaldi in that movie as the villain.
The one that really shocked me was with the Suicide Squad was Starro.
Oh, yeah. He did Starro.
Yeah.
I think you kind of saw it in that first glimpse teaser of, all right, who's the actual villain? And then it was the second trailer. We have a freaking kaiju up in this shit. And it was like, he's actually doing Starro. It was, what?
Yeah.
It was like, okay, I give Gunn credit on this one. DC just kind of let him do whatever now. And then, after that's, we got a spin-off series, Peacemaker, which I love Peacemaker. I still think it's one of his funniest shows he's written, even before The Guardians. Like, I will put Peacemaker's humor and jokes above the Guardians trilogy at some, because a lot of the jokes are so funny in that show. One is my favorite joke. It's in one of the later episodes. It's Peacemaker goes to the school to do like bring a professional or whatever it is, like career day for a kid. And he was making up all this fake bullshit about the Flash being a brony, like a Wonder Woman was IFing him from it's like just really funny. And then you have this little kid who goes, oh, did you know my mom, like, I think, Becky Coolidge. He goes, yeah, Becky Coolidge, like, I haven't seen her in almost 10 years. She goes, well, I'm 9. And he goes, what? Like, it was a solid joke of, you might be my dad. And it was really funny. That was funny, the joke of Vigilante having a chainsaw, wanting to kill someone with a chainsaw, and then the other guy Disney goes, I stole my idea. Like, he was getting, like, all mad about it. There was that. Vigilante, Freddie Stroma was fantastic. Even though, people are going, oh, he changed the character around. The character was this and Arrow. It's like, cool, but you didn't care about that character in that show. You came to care about him in this show.
Mm-hmm.
And,
And that's going to be one of the things that I don't know if I'm going to like about James Gunn or like about James Gunn. He does change the characters a lot.
He changes it to the point where you care about the character.
Yeah.
Because here's the thing. And you could say, yeah, Vigilante was an Arrow. I think it was the fifth or sixth season. He's in the villain. No one cared. No one cared about Vigilante. Mm-hmm. The moment he got his hands on Vigilante, rewrote it, that's when everyone started going, well, this isn't the character. This is... Cool. Mm-hmm. You didn't care about that character before he even wrote it. Mm-hmm. That's my issue with social media and James Gunn, is they like to complain whenever he makes something people come to love and have fun with. And, now we're getting to the point of Creature Commandos. This is what this episode is. It's the review of Creature Commandos episode 1 and 2. I think episode 1 is called The Gobbly Wobbly, or Gobbly Wobblies, and episode 2 was...
Was it the Bride?
Yeah, I think it's just literally just called The Bride.
Okay.
Give us 1 second. No, the Tormless Necklace. Yeah, it's Necklace. So, yeah, and the next episode is called Cheers to the Tin Man, which I am really excited for that. But we're here to talk about episode 1 and 2, and then we'll talk about 3, or preview for 3, what we think. So, episode 1 of Creature Commandos. It just gets right into it.
Yeah.
It sets up with the intro. There's a princess, she's invading this country, the Sons of Themyscira, and their people are starting to know, like, hey, Themyscira exists. Like, it's a birthplace of a hero, but we can't mention that hero yet. Cersei, the villain.
Yep.
Terrifying. So far hilarious. Doesn't give a shit. She wants this little... What's the country? Like, Polkistan? I'm probably butchering it. It's something. But, essentially, again, now this is where it ties into... It's the Suicide Squad is canon. Peacemaker Season 1 is canon. So how Peacemaker Season 1 is canon is at the end of Season 1, Amanda Waller's daughter outs her saying, they're using...
You were
people,
actually right. Polka.
Yeah, Polka.
Yeah.
Polka Stan.
Polka Stan, yeah.
Yeah, basically Amanda Waller's daughter outs her saying, hey, they're using humans as, like, an individual private arms, like, military group called Task Force X, a.k.a. the Suicide Squad. And then the government kind of says, well, we can't use humans anymore. That's not humane. But they never said we couldn't use monsters. And that's where we get the Creature Commandos. That's why they're getting called in. Mm. So you have the Bride,
Dr. Phosphorus,
G.I. Robot, Nina Manzursky,
and the Weasel.
And Weasel to start.
My issue that I have with this whole team is like, okay, I get the Bride, I get G.I. Robot, I get Weasel, I get Nina. Dr. Phosphorus is technically a human.
To an extent, yes. But even if so, he was transformed into him. Well, we're going to find that out later. Yeah. You're going to find out his origin. He's thrown in a machine. It's in one of the trailers, and you see him transformed into Dr. Phosphorus. Yeah. So he's not really human. He's just... But, so yes, Peacemaker Season 1 is canon. She's like, and they even say, oh, your daughter outed you. Like, what are you going to do? She's like, well, we'll figure that out later. And that's going to be the whole Waller series. Is, hey, the world knows what we're doing here. We have to keep it more like hidden under wraps with Argus of what we want to do. Mm-hmm. But and then they're going to Polka Stan, and you see Weasel start freaking out, like he's biting, like going. He's like
G.I. Robot pulls out his gun.
Robot's like, oh, is he scared because he might be a Nazi? And it's like, no, he's not a Nazi. It's like, no, he had a bad experience like in one of these carriers, and if Weasel couldn't swim in the Suicide Squad, so they made it so they pushed him out and he drowned for a quick second. So that's why that's canon. So yes, the Suicide Squad is canon. And
I want to talk about Weasel.
Yeah, go ahead.
Because they talk about his backstory, like what he did, like he killed a bunch of children.
Well, we don't know that he killed children,
and I really hope that's not what happened.
Yeah, a lot of people are saying he might have just been set up and it looked like it's not what it looked like.
And I'm really this is what I would have done. It's like you have a villain, he kills a bunch of children, and then the Weasel attacks the villain to a point that you don't recognize the villain anymore.
That could be true. I heard that literally, and here's what Gunn said. He goes, "Don't assume like it's gonna be what you." Because even we heard in the Suicide Squad was he killed 27 children. Yeah. I think is like the actual number. Yeah, I remember that movie so well because I've watched it so many times. It is the funniest James Gunn like R-rated movie, and I know there's other James Gunn movies.
I need to watch it again.
It's got its moments. It's got good moments.
Because I only watched it once, and I was sitting there going, do I really want to watch it again? Because I know watching it again, that opening's not going to be the same for me.
Are you talking about the opening of where it's Savant and he does like the cool puddle shot and then he throws the thing and he kills the bird? Yeah, like that.
No, the whole team just dying.
Oh, the whole team dying is like I laughed so hard during that because a lot of the deaths are really funny. Like Captain Boomerang just gets jumped up by a propeller blade. Mongol just kills herself on like purpose. Nathan Fillion as the detachable kid is what made me start just dying laughing. If you go
right there. What? First appearance.
Which
Secret Origins?
Oh, the detachable kid?
Yep.
That's nice. His is funny, and then they realize they can just shoot his arms. Mm-hmm. And he starts going, ah!
Yeah.
And if you see the behind the scenes for that, it is like so much more funnier, because his arms are just covered in blue sleeves, and it's just him doing this. Like Nathan Fillion just waving his arms. It's really funny. But yeah, no, Creature Command, that first episode, it was setting up, Cersei, hey, she's an all-powerful sorcerer, which, this is what I want to see. I want to see the fantasy, the sci-fi element, and that's what we're getting. We're getting a fantasy villain. They're not afraid to show us the weird side of DC. He's not afraid to dig deep and have fun. And that's why a lot of people are like, well, this is why I don't like Gunn. It's like, well, you did watch a movie, again, called The Guardians of the Galaxy that has a giant tree and a talking raccoon and a mantis-looking female, and you're afraid about a GI robot who wants to kill Nazis and a skeleton on green fire, and a witch who is destroying a town so the U.S. government doesn't get involved in politics. I was like, that's what you're concerned about?
Needs to be dark and gritty.
Yeah, it needs to be Man of Steel 2 or Batman v Superman. No, that's where we messed up the first time. Listen, this is serious, it's dark and it's edgy, but it's got the comedy in it that makes it funny. And one of the jokes, well, that's in the next episode. I won't talk about that yet.
Yeah.
But the first episode is all of them getting together and just like, hey, this is the Creature Commandos, this is the team. You know, you have a chip in your neck, like, but it's not a detonator, it's just to give you a shock. Like, you basically just listening to me, whether you like it or not.
Yeah.
The one thing I really enjoyed in the first episode was the fight between Dr. Phosphorus and Rick Flag. Beautifully animated.
Yeah.
By God, let me tell you what I know about this scene. So this was animated by the team that did the Invincible 2 teaser.
Mm-hmm.
And for some reason, Amazon did not let them animate Season 2 fully like that. This is what the animation Invincible should have gotten. Because it's by the same company. They put the effort into this fight. Like, there's a scene where Dr. Phosphorus just rips his sleeve off, charges his hand, and just tries to, like, just brutally kill. I remember, he's full of radiation.
Yep.
But one of the funniest scenes is Rick Flag just grabs him by the head and starts slamming him into, like, a table. And then he goes, ah! Like, he's hurt. What'd you think of that?
I loved it. I loved the part. It's just like, and then like after the fight, I love the moments after the fight. It's just like, you realize if you killed me, Amanda Waller's gonna be freaking pissed.
Yeah, like Amanda Waller's gonna kill you. Like, I hope you know this.
And then they have a buddy moment where the princess is trying to heal him up.
So I was gonna get to that. So, because he dropped behind the scenes of that, and it is the funniest behind the scenes. It has the Snyder Group losing their mind, going, "This is a kid show. Why is he posting them like going like doing that? Did he get her consent?" It's like, she's in the show. He's filming it for behind the scenes purposes. That is a common thing to film, or like behind the scenes. But yeah, what you're saying, like, the princess, she's like patching them up, and they just start having sex.
Yeah,
it's sex in the bathroom. And you want to know what I pointed out when I was talking to Adam about this? The funniest thing that had me laughing. It's not that it's Dr. Phosphorus. It's Weasel and G.I. Robot are also sitting there outside the room. They have no idea what's going on because one's an animal and one's a robot that doesn't know what sex is. So that joke process, I was like, these two don't know what's going on. So they're just hearing the thinking he's in trouble the whole time. And Weasel's just sitting like a dog, just all pretty, waiting for them to get done.
And it's just like the fact that like Dr. Phosphorus is like looking at the guard and goes, "Okay, you need to give him a few, like 30 seconds.
Yeah.
Give him a minute.
Or at his age, come back in 5 minutes." Yeah, that's in the second episode, and that joke is so fun. A lot of people were saying that joke wasn't funny. I was like, no, that joke was really funny.
What people are not, from what I'm reading, people are not. They don't know the age of the princess.
So they said the age of the princess is based off Maria Bakalova. So she's like 30, 27.
Yeah. And to me, it's just like, James Gunn isn't going to do something stupid like that. Yeah. You're taking an old tweet.
And again, this is what I told people, and this is the thing you told me.
Mm-hmm.
When people were like, "Oh, he got fired by Disney because of this stuff," it's like, first of all, this is what you told me. I think we talked about this last week on the last episode. He worked for Troma. Yeah. Disney knew the guy they hired immediately. If you don't think Disney did a background check, you have to be the dumbest people on that one. Because here's a rule with Disney, what I found out. I watched a quick TikTok, off topic, and it was about Disney's hiring procedures. They cannot hire ex-cons and they do background checks because Tim Allen was technically an ex-con and then he got the role of Santa Claus, or he was in Santa Claus. But yeah, that's how Disney works.
Yeah.
And if you don't think Warner Brothers also knew his background, you have to remember, on the Warner Brothers Discovery bio, when you click on his name, it says PG porn right there. These companies are not idiots the way you think they are. They know the people they are hiring, first of all. To be very clear, I just want to point that out.
Yeah. And I generally believe that, like, they're all jokes.
Yeah, they're all jokes.
Are they funny jokes is a different question.
I do like the, give him a minute, never mind his age, give him 5 minutes. Like, and then he goes, "Why didn't you warn me?" He goes, "Oh, well, kill me for trying to give you a bro moment.
Yeah.
Like, we just had a fight. Yeah, but now I was being your bro. like,
I feel like that's a bonding moment.
Yeah, like, I could tell those two are going to have more, like, the bonding moments.
Yeah.
It's like Or my other favorite joke for Phosphorus was, are you smiling? No, I'm just looking very sad.
I feel like there's going to be a bond moment for, like, you know, the bride and
Yeah.
Nina are going to have a bonding moment.
Which they already started, too.
Yeah.
And in the second episodes where a lot of the stuff happens.
Yeah.
The first episode is, setting the stage of, like, hey,
Yeah,
you
this
just
is
meet the
what's going
characters.
on, yeah.
Meet the team, meet this, meet that. My favorite is in the second episode, it's Nina and Bride. They're beating up, and we'll talk about that more because that coincides with the Bride's origins and stuff. They're just beating up, and Nina and the Bride are just looking at each other. She goes, I think it was Nina tells her, or Bride asks, are you okay? Nina just goes, go fuck yourself. Like, it was their bonding moment. She's like, ugh. Like, your actions are about to get us killed, essentially. Which we're going to see more in this episode, and I'm super excited for this next episode. The other thing was, you want to talk about the Bride.
Oh, yeah.
The Bride's origin, so you can take the stand for that one.
Well, it's the Bride. It's the story of Frankenstein.
Yeah.
I like the fact that they are going based more on the story.
Yeah, the original book, not the Universal story.
Universal story or anything like that, so I love that.
It's who originally wrote the Frankenstein novel?
Mary Shelley.
That's what Gunn said it's based on. Yeah.
Yeah. But I love Frankenstein showing up, and he's just like, you made her for me, and there's a scene where Dr. Frankenstein is fucking the bride.
Yeah, like that was really. It was like, whoa! Like I didn't think we were gonna.
Like, and I find it really funny. I don't know why I found it like hilarious, because he does mention he had a wife.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, you made this creature for him.
Yeah, like you did make it for him, and you're kind of.
I'm sorry, but you're the bad guy there, Frankenstein.
Or yeah, Victor Frankenstein, I should say. Yeah, and then there's Frankenstein. Yeah.
I love the fact that the creature killed him, and then there's this big fight throughout every decade.
Okay, that had me dying laughing. It's the fact that the bride doesn't love Frankenstein, the creature, and he just wants to love her, and so he decides just to stalk her through every decade just to be with her, and these two just end up fighting. In one of, I think it was the 70s, she takes a guitar and just starts smashing it over his head. And then, in the 50s, you see the best Easter egg of all time.
Or the 60s, I think.
That might have been the 60s. It was the Shaggy Easter. Shaggy is canon in the DCU.
I really hope they do incorporate Scooby-Doo in some way in this DC universe.
I feel like, if anything, we're going to get another animated project.
Yeah.
It will be an actual DCU Scooby-Doo meets Batman.
Mm-hmm.
Like, the Mystery Incorporated will be canon to the DCU. I feel like Gunn is going to pull that string and just say, hey, Warner Brothers, you're not doing anything with DC or with Scooby-Doo. Can I use him for, like, a few things? Just to, like, have, like, that kids program that's really funny. And, like, I can write it and, like, hey, or maybe we can get the old cast back for like a quick like hour special on Max. Like we'll get it whenever we get our Batman for the DCU. Like, hey, Matthew Lillard, I know you're old. Do you want to come back and do this?
Hey, Mindy, you wanna?
Yeah, no, absolutely not. Keep her away. There's a reason why I got like 2%. It's bad, man. It's bad. It's not good.
I really hope that at some point they do. I'm not a fan of the comic book run Scooby Apocalypse, but I do hope that they do adapt it.
Yeah, I could see them.
But that's off topic.
It could also just be an Elseworld.
Yeah. But that I thought that was really interesting, and I really do hope they do something with Scooby Doo.
Yeah.
But
or I can even see him making a call about because there's been a few crossovers DC has had, like Elmer Fudd, Batman. Hey, you're not using Elmer Fudd. Can I use him?
Mm-hmm.
And if it's a no, it's a no. But I feel like it's James Gunn. He's going to persuade them and throw them like the best pitch going, hey, we want to do this. Because who wrote that comic?
Tom King.
So, yeah, you already have I was going to say it's Tom King, but for some reason it didn't sound right. But you could easily get, hey, we'll have Tom King, oversee it, just make sure to stick it. Or we can even do it as like a cartoon.
Yeah.
Like that one doesn't have to be, it could be like a quick little like funny cartoon guy. Like, hey, what if Batman did meet Elmer Fudd in like an animated kind of stuff.
But back to Creature Commandos.
Back to Creature Commandos.
The thing that I really love about Frankenstein.
Yeah.
He's on a yacht.
Dude, I literally went, he's a pimp! I was like, this is amazing.
What are you wanting the bride for? Look at all the hotties you got on this ship.
But remember, the bride was made for him.
Yeah.
He wants his true love.
Yeah.
And to see her story, like, even her story is just kind of sad.
Yeah.
Because, like, even Victor Frankenstein was like, like, don't scare her. Like, she doesn't know what she is. She's a mix of everything. And he goes, hi, flowers. Ah! He's like, why won't she love me? It's like, you kind of just scared the living shit out of her.
And you're ugly.
You're ugly. Yeah, we'll go with that one. You're not a giant, big, tall monster that's stitched up to look like an abomination or anything. So I wonder what gave you... And then, like, it's like, I think the part that made it heartwarming in that episode was Victor teaching the bride, like, the language, like, what's this? It's a necklace. It's pretty. Like, it's a horse. Like, like, her, like, learning the world is what was interesting.
Yeah. And then, to me, he took advantage of that.
Yeah, and then he took advantage and just had sex with her, yeah. And then Frankenstein walked in, like, 2 minutes after.
My love!
Yeah, and then he killed Victor Frankenstein.
Which was really gruesome.
Yeah, like, this show doesn't hold back. And, again, it is Creature Commandos. This one's not the kid-friendly one. Even Gunn said that this one is not the kid-friendly project. You can watch this one, or you can wait and you can just watch Superman. Because even he said, you don't have to watch this one to know what Superman is. And again, he has said, and I know people are going to be like, oh, well, why isn't he saying this? It's like, because he doesn't want you to do homework. This is like, if you're a diehard DC fan, you want your content, you're going to get your content. You're going to watch Creature Commandos. And from what I learned, Creature Commandos was originally part of the DCEU. Mm-hmm. But he reworked it to be part of the DCU. And that's where everything kind of got... he had to rewrite a few things. But he goes, other than that, everything stayed consistent. It's the same story.
Yeah. So how about episode 3?
Yeah. Oh, so it's called episode 3. I think it's the one episode people are going to really love, especially if you love the character. Because this character really likes to kill Nazis. I think this is the most I've said Nazi in a podcast, which might be a little concerning. But for the sake of the show, that's part of the character. G.I. Robot became a fan favorite over the weekend of the show. And I knew he was going to be a fan favorite.
I think he was a fan favorite from the very beginning.
Yeah, once he got announced that it was a robot who kills Nazis.
And he sold me right away with the preview where he's just like, there's some hostility from this weasel. Is this weasel maybe
a Nazi? No, but you're going to arm away. From what I was hearing too when people watch the series in full, they're like, G.I. Robot is just a more brutal Baymax. And I was like, after watching the first 2 episodes, I was like, yeah, I could see that.
It was funny because I was actually reading his first appearance.
Yeah.
And it was just like, Robot, I need you to do things for me. If I say fire, why aren't you firing? And it's like the soldier's just trying to communicate with the stupid robot to help him, like, save the day. And the robot's not, like, computing right away.
But yeah, next episode is also going to be, we're going to see Sergeant Rock.
Do you think he's voiced by...
Daniel Craig?
Daniel Craig?
So that's a tough one. Because here's the thing. From what I hear, yes, we're going to get a lot of surprises. And I wouldn't put it past Gunn if he already had made that call going, hey, we're going to do this. Do you want to come quickly voice it if you like the character enough? Mm-hmm. And then again, they found that director, Luca... Mm-hmm. God, you say his last name? I don't know. It's Luca something. He did Challengers, and he's doing this one. And they also just did another movie together called Queer. Did they do that?
Yeah.
Yeah. And, if it is Daniel Craig, holy shit. People are saying, oh, Warner Brothers has no money. How are they paying people? It's like, no, they got money. Mm-hmm. Remember, they canceled 2 projects that got them this money to kind of save their ass. Even though people don't like that call, I still think at the end of the day, it's a smart call. Business call, you have to make that call.
not for...
Yeah, not for the one you want. Not for the one we all wanted. But, again, at the end of the day, I guess we'll just see how the other project does, which is The Day the Earth Blew Up.
Yeah.
Wile E. Coyote... We'll see. Maybe they'll pull it out of the vault and say, okay, maybe we can release this one. But if the day the Earth blew up doesn't make money. I think it's kind of safe to say the Looney Tunes are not really.
And I'm gonna be promoting the crap of when the day the Earth blew up, because I want people to understand, if you put money into something and you show people that you want this, you'll get this. And I feel like if that movie makes money, we're going to get Wile E. Coyote.
Yeah, they'll pull that one out. I feel like it's not deleted.
Yeah.
I feel like it's just shelved. It's gonna sit on.
No one knows what to do with it. But back to,
because they want their money out of it.
Yeah, but back to Creature Commandos.
Yeah, Creature Commandos. Sergeant Rock, Daniel Craig. We're also gonna meet another character who's gonna appear in Suicide Squad. That is, I think I texted you and Adam the moment I saw the character too. He's called Apache Chief.
Oh yeah,
he's the Indian or Apache Indian. If I'm saying it right, sorry.
Super Friends.
Yeah, Super Friends. He's from Super Friends because I had to look him up from the first Shotgun shared. It's a guy sitting around the fire and he's got the long Indian ponytail and all, like the bird feathers, the catcher, all that. We're gonna see him, and we did see him in the trailer. You see him clear as day. He's got the thing, he's got the ripped off arm. It's him. We're gonna see him too, but who's playing him is the question. We don't know who's playing this character. We don't know who's casted him yet. All we know is he's appearing in both shows now, and that's gonna be awesome. And I feel like in this episode 2, or episode 3, you're gonna see the Nazi killings.
Oh yeah,
you're gonna see G.I. Robot just go insane and start.
And I feel like he's gonna have. Something tells me his sad backstory is he's gonna shoot.
He's gonna actually shoot someone, and then they're gonna.
Or the soldier was a double agent.
Mm-hmm. Because here's the other thing too: is if you pay attention closely in the trailers, there was a shot of them putting him in a cell, and they shut him off for however many years, and that's gonna show like, what did he do, or did he just become obsolete? Do they not need him anymore? Like what is gonna happen? But I've also heard, not this episode, the next episode, episode 4, which is ways away still. I've heard that is the more sadder story. That's the Nina Mazursky creature from the Black Lagoon. And I've heard that episode is a tearjerker. Because again, a lot of people don't know about her.
Yeah.
So like,
I mean, I know nothing about her.
Yeah, so it's gonna be interesting. Like we've already had Frankenstein and the Bride's backstory. We're gonna get Weasel. G.I. Robot is next. I think Weasel is.
I hope the Weasel is like the very last thing that we know. Like, so what's the Weasel's backstory?
Yeah,
and he's just like, we got the camera.
Oh yeah, this is 8 episodes. Why am I thinking it's like 6? Yeah, we're gonna get a bunch of episodes. Yeah. We also got to get Dr. Phosphorus's episode. Stuff like that. So we got to get a lot of these.
I mean, everyone's gonna have their own episode.
Yeah.
But do you think with episode 3? Do you think that the mystery movie that he greenlit is Sergeant Rock?
Yeah, it's Sergeant Rock. Because it's already out there. Deadline reported it. The major trade reported it.
Yeah. But I mean, like...
And I kept hearing...
He never... It's not greenlit, though.
Yeah, it's not greenlit. It's in development. Before... Because here's how we broke down how his greenlighting development's going to work. It's, hey, we need a script properly. Like, we need a good script, something I can, overlook and see. And, as much as you don't have to like James Gunn. I'm not forcing anyone to like James Gunn. I'm saying give him a chance. Because he's a comic guy at the end of the day. He knows his stuff.
Yeah.
And, it's a lot of the stuff I've also applied to us doing Culture Shock stuff. Is now I'm like, hey, we're just not going to half-ass projects. Like, when we do Batman and Robin, it was all of us putting passion into it. We were having fun. Batman Forever, we're going to treat it the same way. We're going to be, behind the mic. We're going to just be looking. Because we took a lot of the input from episode 1, we applied it to episode 2 when it came down to editing, volume, sound, and people loved it. People came back and loved it. Which, again, sorry for the delay in episode 3.
That is completely on me.
We have to find a way to get all it transferred back, and
computer crashed, and then I got busy.
Yeah. And one of the things I'm currently working on, which I will not name, is we're having fun with this one. Yeah. And I feel like people are going to like this one. And it's and like how he says, like, if your heart's not there when you're writing something or doing something, you're not going to have fun. Like, what's the point? Like, if you're just writing something to write something and just be like, oh, yeah, I want to make this. How Gunn does it is he puts passion. He makes you care about these characters. And again, that's why I'll always bring up Guardians of the Galaxy as the prime example is. He got you to care about a team of misfits. and 2 CGI characters you knew nothing about.
Mm-hmm.
So the fact that you're saying I don't trust this guy is a blatant line bullshit statement.
Yeah.
Sorry.
It's the nerds being nerds. But what I find really interesting is I really wish that James Gunn actually never came out and be like, here's all the movies that we're planning.
I think that was like
I feel like it was
an investor's pitch.
Yeah.
So I don't think that's
like
I think he just needed a plan.
I think he has a plan, and I think that is his plan. Like, I think at the end of the day, he's gonna make a Batman movie. He has to make a Batman movie.
Yeah.
I mean, it's DC.
Yeah, and is he going to stick to that order? No. He's already jumping orders.
Yeah, he's already jumping orders. That's, like, my only thing that I don't really like at the moment. Mm-hmm. After you used this, it was kind of like investor recycling. Now it clicked on me.
Yeah, it was an investor call meeting. Like, hey, I have this idea. This is what you're going to get if you put your money in. Trust me with your
but the bigger question that I do have to ask is there a bigger plan? If you're constantly being like, well, we're going to have a Sided Rock story now, and now, Titans, okay, here's the Titans story. Okay, we're going to put Titans in here.
So here's what he also said, too. What he announced wasn't even the full chapter 1. We still have, you don't know how long this chapter 1's going to last. It could last longer than the MCU's Phase 1. And he said even this isn't even going to be modeled after Marvel. Yeah. It's more Pixar. Like, hey, we're just going to, like, if it's a good script, it's greenlighting, it's consent. Because Dynamic Duo wasn't on that pitch. Yeah. And that got greenlit. And that's going to be canon in the DCU. It's the story of Dick Grayson and Jason.
Well, it's going to be an Elseworld story.
No, it's canon.
It's an Elseworld story.
He said it's part of the DCU. It's going to be take place a little bit before Brave and the Bold. It's going to focus on those two. Because remember, Brave and the Bold is Batman and Damian. Mm-hmm, yeah. This is going to be the introduction of the DCU's Nightwing and Jason Todd.
This is where
he confirmed it as it's not an Elseworlds tale.
This is kind of like my little issue with the have Jason. Granted, I'm excited for this movie. Yeah. I mean, puppets.
Yeah, it's puppets with CGI work. And if you've seen their demo work,
that's unbelievable. That's the thing where I'm like, it's not clicking on me right now that it's going to be so different.
But here's the thing, though. And this is where it comes from the DCU, is they're testing stuff. Yeah. They're not afraid. It looks like he's not afraid to take those risks.
And that's perfectly fine. But at the same time, I generally believe you gotta kind of keep everything somewhat in one bubble.
No, here's my question. Is it going to be told through someone's mind, like Jason Todd? That's why he's going to see that's why it's puppeteering?
Oh, that would be interesting.
Like, can you imagine? Remember, it's going to be about those two, so it's got to be from one of those point of views.
Can you just imagine every time he just gets hit by the crowbar, it goes to a flashback of him as a puppet?
So, my pitch was for that. If they do that, if we do get the death of Jason Todd in this movie, Dynamic Duo, my whole joke was I want to see a Joker puppet with a crowbar start beating him, and instead of blood, it's like stuffing coming out, or like he's chipping away, like something like that, where it's attention to detail and it's really funny. Again, watch the demo work the company did for the puppeteering. They were doing having to do the flips and with the CGI riding bikes, and it's like, which we've seen the Muppets ride, but we've seen all that stuff. But this was next level. It's CGI mixed with puppeteering with animation, and it looked really, really good. And that's why I'm excited for this. It's something different. It's something I wasn't expecting. Puppeteering, okay. CGI, okay. So it's gonna be animated, and it's gonna be a theatrical film. Okay, I can get behind this. It's weird enough and different enough where it has me questioning about it, being like, I'm gonna see this movie. And that's the same thing with Creature Commandos. It started with the show. You're already taking a risk. You're doing an animated series. Then you're going to do a live-action film. Then you're going to do a live-action series with Lanterns. Then you're going to do another... Peacemaker season 2. Yeah. And then you also have Waller. And who knows? He said it's going to be between animation, video games, TV, and movies. People said comics, but I think he scrapped the comic idea. Yeah. I think he scrapped that.
Which I think... That to me is a smart move. Yeah. I'm waiting to see what the video game's going to be.
Yeah. Well, hopefully this Thursday. This Thursday is the Game Awards. I don't know if this episode's... Well, we'll call it today as if it comes out Thursday or Friday. The Game Awards happened.
Yeah.
3 years ago, we got the announcement of the Wonder Woman game.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently, he knows about that game. And he's told people, he's like, yeah, we're trying to fit it into the DCU. Like, it's going to be Wonder Woman's kind of story. It's her journey. But is it going to be canon? Yes. Is it going to have story elements that are going to impact the DCU? No. Is it going to introduce you to Themyscira? Yes.
Yeah.
Is it going to introduce you to Diana Prince? Yes. And again, that's the fun thing about video games, is you can have people reprise their role with voice work and, anime, all that fun stuff.
Yeah.
Maybe there might be, like, comic specials, like previews or something. Like, that's different.
Yeah. You can have tie-in comic books, for stuff.
Because they did the Flash one, they did the Aquaman one, they did a Shazam one.
Yeah. But now keep the Earth Zero is the comic book universe.
Yeah.
Type deal. Or Earth One, which way you want to.
Yeah, whatever you want to call
label
it.
them. But, so this is going to be my final question to you.
Yeah.
So we had Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah. Great.
We had The Suicide Squad. Creature
Another
Commandos.
fun film.
Okay. These are great movies with great, team characters. Are you concerned at any point with Superman?
No.
Because Superman now is just one character.
No. Because you want to know why? And so what people are trying to say, like, it's the repetitive gun trope. And I'm like, you know what? If it works for him and he likes doing that with the team-up films, who are you to complain? You're obviously watching it and you're enjoying it too. Yeah. Sure, it's a little repetitive. But here's the thing. Superman's not a team-up character. He already said it in one of his thread posts that there's 3 main characters in Superman. Superman and Clark Kent, obviously. Lois Lane and Lex Luthor. The story takes place and revolves around those 3. You're going to have your side characters like Jimmy Olsen, Steve Lombard, Perry White, Otis, Ava Tessmacher,
Metamorpho.
Metamorpho, Green Lantern, Guy Gardner, Green Lantern, Mr. Terrific, and Hawkgirl. Those are all side... Oh, and Crypto. And Supergirl also is in this movie too. And they're all side characters. They're just appearing here and there. They're not going to be fully in the story. Like how he said, the story, it revolves around Superman. Mm-hmm. It's about Superman. It's about... the movie was called at one point Superman Legacy. It's about... I have a feeling it's going to be about how important is Superman to the world.
It's the way I look at it, because from the way that James Gunn was talking about, I'm looking at the story of whatever happened to the Man of Tomorrow.
Yeah.
Which is the story where Manchester Black shows up and he kills the villains. And everyone's like, yeah, he killed the villains! That's something that Superman would never do. And then Superman questions
And here's the thing. From what we've seen too about the leaks, Ultraman is this movie. Mm-hmm. And from what some leaks might be telling, it might be a clone of Superman.
Yeah.
And from what we've also heard in the trailer, there's a giant kaiju. Again, that's pushing the fantasy sci-fi element.
Yeah.
It's a retrofuturism. Yeah. I am super excited for this movie. Mm-hmm. I'm highly anticipating a trailer, but I'm being patient knowing trailers take work, especially for a big movie like Superman.
But it's my birthday. Did you see that tweet?
Here's the thing. And people are starting to talk now. Some people have seen it. Yeah. They said, guys, it's coming. Just be patient. Don't worry.
But it's my birthday.
We know it's your birthday. It's like, we know it's your birthday. He's not just going to drop it.
I just love that tweet.
Do I think it's coming next week with Mufasa? Maybe. Highly likely. But unlike I told people, he could have made a call to Iger saying, hey, can I tie my Superman movie with your big release? And that relationship with Iger, Iger probably told him, yeah, we can work something out.
Well, I generally believe that Mufasa kind of needs it.
Yeah, especially with how low it's tracking. But nowadays it's tracking high again because people are hearing Superman might be attached. Now, what if Superman's not attached? Are we going to get the trailer?
I'm going to be angry.
But here's my question, though. Is it too early? So,
I really wish...
Because, and I will tell people this, we didn't get Deadpool and Wolverine marketing trailer until Super Bowl.
That's my thing. I really wish
it was a July movie.
I really wish it came out during the Super Bowl.
So you want a Super Bowl release for that trailer? You still think right now it's too early? No, what if, New Year's Eve happens, he drops the first poster, and going, tomorrow, the new year, get ready. Mm-hmm. And then we get the trailer, first thing to start off the year, it's Superman.
I would love, this is what I would have loved. This is what I would have done.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have a full-blown trailer for the Super Bowl, But I would have a teaser.
Well, you know what I mean.
You know, but then I would be like, if you want to see the trailer, go see this movie.
Yeah, or go online.
You know.
Watch it online.
Yeah.
Because we do have some Warner Brother films opening up
Yeah.
early in the year. We have The Sinners with Michael B. Jordan,
Mm-hmm.
directed by Ryan Coogler, which, off topic, the movie looks great, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
Then you have Robert Pattinson's Mickey 17, another Warner Brothers film.
I'm
So
excited.
you can attach this trailer to
Yeah.
Warner Brothers films. It's not that hard to find it.
Yeah.
There's a Warner Brothers film out right now called, I think it's like The Order. It's with Nicholas Hoult in it. He plays a lawyer or something. I'm going to see that on Saturday. So it should be interesting.
Mm-hmm.
I'll let you know how it is. Someone wants to go see it. And I was like, you know what? Yeah, I'll go see Nicholas Hoult in a few things before he does Lex Luthor.
Mm-hmm.
But I still think it's relatively early for a trailer. And like you said, he's not doing reshoots, which internet's not thinking. And when he said it's not reshoots, it's certain shots to enhance the film.
Yeah.
That's not reshoots.
Let me tell you guys something, because
Todd recorded.
I'm a side filmmaker. When I'm done shooting something, when you're done shooting something, you want to have scenes to just help pad out, help with transitions and help with this. So it's like, we need a shot of the city. You don't normally do that when you have all the crew there.
Yeah.
Because you don't need all the actors and the crew there. You can shoot, all you need is, a drone and you can do the city. That's what he's doing.
Yeah. And some shots it might be, just some Superman shots,
Yeah.
maybe some flying shots to like bring it,
Or, maybe there is maybe a little, he might need a clear shot for maybe a special effect.
Yeah. And he's even said on the past 2 films he's done, he's never had reshoots.
Yeah.
And I honestly believe that.
Yeah.
Guardians of the Galaxy, there wasn't any reshoots. I think he's filmed a lot of stuff and 2 scenes got cut.
Yeah.
And that was while he was filming.
Yeah.
So it wasn't any of their
And
reshoots.
if it was something that needed to be if there was it was never really a reshoot. There was they added shots, because I know that he did a post-credit scene
for
one of the Guardians.
Yeah, I think it was. Yeah, there was a bunch of shots for that movie.
Yeah. That because I think he did a post-credit scene.
Yeah, it was the Groot playing the Teen Groot.
Yeah.
It was.
But he did
Adam
that
Warlock.
afterwards.
Yeah.
But again, I don't count that as reshoots.
Suicide Squad, you can tell there was no reshoots.
Yeah.
That film was done perfectly. And he said, he goes, I don't need to reshoot anything for this film. And someone going, and people are listening to the weird rumors, hearing, oh, the test screenings are bad, that's why you're doing reshoots. He's like, no, that's not why. He goes, I just want some stuff to look better than it already does. That's not reshoots. And he said it's like a day.
Yeah.
That's not even a reshoot day. That's like you said, you're picking up and enhancing shots.
He's getting landscaping shots. That's all he's doing.
Yeah. And people are like, sure, it's not reshoots. And it's like, people are like, oh, now treat it like how you're treating Captain America. First of all, off topic before we actually end this.
Yeah.
Here's where I'm going with this. If you want to compare Captain America to Superman, I'm sorry, language warning, you're a fucking idiot. Don't ever compare those 2 damn movies. Mm-hmm. Captain America, I honestly believe it's going to bomb. Mm-hmm. And that's not me on a DC Cat podcast going, oh, I love DC. No, I am a fan of the Captain America trilogy. People know I love the Captain America trilogy. I love First Avenger. I love Winter Soldier. I love Civil War. I think those are great movies, especially the Russos are fantastic directors. Nothing against Anthony Mackie. I think he's a great actor. I think he's been flawless as Sam Wilson. He's given his heart to the MCU. He's done a lot of fun stuff. He has a lot of fun side movies too, if you go watch. I don't think this movie is going to do well. And that's not saying anything mean to him. That's not being mean to the cast crew behind this movie. I don't think it's going to do well.
Mm-hmm. Well, there's a couple reasons why it's not going to do well.
Also, and people are saying, oh, well, yeah, but Superman has some reshoots. Why aren't you treating it different? Captain America had 4 months worth of reshoots.
Yeah.
Superman is a day and a half, not even. And like you said, it's the landscape shots. 2 different things.
They literally, Captain America Brave New World, literally added a character.
Mm-hmm. They added Giancarlo Esposito to the movie.
To the movie after you shot the movie.
Mm-hmm. And they rewrote it entirely.
Yeah.
And that's where I tell people, trust James Gunn a little bit.
Yeah.
He's not going to greenlight a script unless it's finished. He wants these scripts to be absolute perfect. So again, that's why he's not saying, like, commenting on Sergeant Rock right now. Or Teen Titans. Now, they could say they're writing Teen Titans. That doesn't mean it's getting into production anytime soon or getting greenlit. Right now, it's just she's writing it. She's debating on, casting it out, whatever. planning out the story. That's different. That's more of like active development. That's not greenlit going into actual like, hey, we're casting now, we're going into, we're filming it. Two different things. People got to start learning the difference with filming. And people have said, should Gunn stay off social media? No. There's too many dumbass questions. Yeah. And when he answers, people are like, oh, well, he should stay up. So no, he's answering your questions you have. Would you want a studio head not to answer your questions?
Yeah.
Because Feige doesn't do that. And look at Marvel right now.
Yeah.
Marvel's a mess. I told people this. The other night, they announced... We'll start a Marvel podcast, but they announced Chris Evans was coming back.
Yeah.
No. Why? Why would you announce he's coming back?
Yeah, that one really upset me.
Now, and this is what I told people. And, someone brought up, I'm not going to name on this podcast, but a few people, I was talking about it the other night in our Culture Shock Facebook group. They were like, well, Keaton came back. I go, that's different. That is entirely different because he did not have an ending as Batman. It was Batman Returns, hey, Merry Christmas, Alfred. Merry Christmas, Mr. Wayne, and then Catwoman. That whole ending shot that I love.
Yeah.
He came back for The Flash, as much as people don't like that movie. He got an ending in that movie. And he hadn't worn the cowl in over 40 years. Chris Evans left the shield, passed the mantle to Sam Wilson in 2019. Came back really quickly just to do Johnny Storm and Deadpool Wolverine, which, again, kept a secret. We did not know that. There were rumors, but nothing that came out of the trades. This one came directly out of the trades. You should have kept this one a secret.
Yeah. That's to me is like the big problem. That Marvel is desperate, and they want to get people back into the theater to see their stuff. And they feel like the way to do it is, here's Robert Downey Jr., here's Scarlett Johansson, here's Chris Evans.
It's the, and I will use it as an example.
Memberberry,
It's the memberberry, but it's the dangling of the keys.
Yeah.
And you could say the same, they did it with Michael Keaton when they, got rid of Ben Affleck when he was done, and it was, oh, here's Michael Keaton, he's going to be in The Flash. But, Ben Affleck was also in The Flash.
That didn't bother me because it was a different universe. This is this is a different. They were doing Flashpoint. They were doing a weird adaptation of Flashpoint.
Yeah, which is fine.
This is Marvel is desperate and they don't know what to do, and they're not listening to anybody.
Which is why I tell people this. I go, listen, I'm not going to say anything if you want to jump to the DC ship. Come start liking DC now. It's going to get better.
Yeah.
I'm excited for Superman. It's a different take on Superman. I know it's something we haven't seen out of the Superman. And knowing Gunn, he's going to pull from the deepest comics in the rich history of Superman.
I'm imagining him. There's going to be a scene. I could totally see this Superman sneezing out a galaxy.
Yeah. I can see that. Like I said, the kaiju.
I can see rainbow hands coming from Superman.
Yeah. I can see Krypto peeing on the moon as a joke. And, people would get mad going, oh, dog urinating. I go, first of all, it's a super dog urinating in space on the moon.
What I don't see that. What I do see is him like throwing a stick.
Yeah, like him doing something fun with Krypto.
And, he throws a stick to the moon and he brings it back.
Yeah, like that's funny. Like something like that is the stuff I want to see. And this is what I talk to people. I go, listen.
It's different.
It's different. And this is, again, what I tell people. I do not like Man of Steel. I think it's boring. I think it's just, it didn't do anything.
Yeah.
You had Christopher Nolan. He did the Dark Knight trilogy. Yeah. You had Christopher Nolan. You had Zack Snyder. Again, nothing. I do like Zack Snyder. I do like Zack Snyder's Justice League. I do like Watchmen. I've yet to see 300. Yeah. But I respect Zack Snyder enough to say, all right, you tried. It didn't work with general audience.
Yeah.
You got to get someone who knows the general audience, who won't take it seriously, who's not afraid to have fun. You picked the right guy with James Gunn.
Yeah. I generally, we're going to see with James Gunn, I've said this before when it comes to like Man of Steel and Batman versus Superman. Believe it or not, the general audience they didn't want Batman v Superman. They wanted the world's finest cartoon being adapted. Yeah. And I feel like James Gunn is going to give you that with his own spin.
Yeah, he will do the world's finest. And to be honest, people asked, after this, what does he write next and direct next? World's finest. He's going to do Batman vs. Superman, world's finest. Or, not Batman vs. Superman. Yeah. Batman, Superman, world's finest. Or whatever you want to call it. Or, world's finest.
I think that's what it should be called, the world's finest.
And here's what he could do, too. He could ask Mark Waid, hey, do you want to come write a movie? Mm-hmm. Have Mark Waid write it. Or get Bruce Timm. Hey, you guys want to come work together and make this the best thing, like live action, like the superheroes?
Mm-hmm. I'm always shocked that no one invited Bruce Timm to come write something.
I think it's...
And I kind of know why.
I think I know why, too. I think I know where you're going with it. It's the Killing Joke.
No. Well, that, too.
Yeah.
But no, he's animated.
Yeah, he likes a lot more animated stuff.
You know, they look at him as the animated guy. He's and what do we look at animation? It's for children. And, now we have James Gunn. I can see James Gunn being like, okay, Batman doesn't touch Barbara Gordon?
Yeah.
Good. All right, have fun.
Let me ask you this question. Because now that you mentioned Bruce Timm as the animated guy.
Mm-hmm.
And I will ask Adam this too next week, once we get Adam back.
Mm-hmm.
The early episodes of Batman the Animated Series, was that for kids?
Yes.
You think it was for kids? I know there's a few dark episodes.
Yeah. It is for kids.
But it was tailored for a mature audience for kids.
It is a mature cartoon for kids.
Now, do you think Batman Beyond Return of the Joker was for kids?
Yes.
Even with the opening of
Yes.
Robin shooting the gun? Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
It's one of those things where you're getting closer and closer away from that.
Yeah.
But you're still for kids. I mean, kids know guns.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Because, again, you did, in an interview with Kevin Smith, he was even saying, like, I worked at I think it was like a restaurant or something, and he would record Batman the Animated Series.
Mm-hmm.
And it was starting to get tailored to that older audience crowd. It wasn't just for kids anymore. It was, you had the older age group watching it and tuning in more. Yeah. And, my buddy Kyle likes to say, like, oh, yeah, that's why it was canceled. It's like, well, that shouldn't have been a bad thing of why it was canceled. You just should have, rewritten it a little more. But also animation is, it's pricey at the end of the day.
When a show for Batman being canceled, it wasn't canceled because
ratings were bad.
Ratings were
always good for that show, from what it seemed.
It's canceled because they didn't really have any more stories to tell. They wanted to move on,
and also their audience was growing up. So you had to make a new Batman show. And so that's when you got the Batman.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, all right, that audience grew up.
Yeah.
You get Batman, the Brave and the Bold.
Yeah. It's like, you can have a different audience. Grown-ups can watch the stuff, and the ratings can be great. But if you don't have a story to tell, and you want to, you want to introduce new toys and new ideas.
Which that's what we got Batman Beyond.
Yeah.
Was, hey, this audience is growing up and phasing out. Let's take them to the future.
Yeah.
Let's take them to, I think, 2025 in the show, too, which is really funny. Same thing with Teen Titans, the original Teen Titans. Hey, this audience is growing up. Young Justice. Yeah. Okay, Young Justice crowd growing up. Maybe we need to go back.
Young Justice was a weird one, though.
It's good, though. It's
I loved it. But, Young Justice, the audience was older and girls.
Yeah.
That's why it was canceled. Because, Young Justice was canceled because the target audience, they were aiming for boys, but girls were watching it, and no toy maker knew what to do.
Just make Miss Martian
and
Zatanna.
Yeah, but girls don't buy action figures. That was the thing, and they're like, we don't know what to do, and the boys are not buying the action figures. No one's buying the action figures because the majority of people are watching are girls, and that's why it got canceled.
Was Bruce Timm behind that one? I can't remember if he was.
I don't think so.
Oh, the same thing happened with Justice League. Hey, they're growing up. All right, Justice League Unlimited. Okay, we got to make a new Justice League show. Justice League Action, which is hilarious. By the way. I love that show.
I like that show. I was a little disappointed, though, with it. Just a little bit, but, we'll have an episode where we talk about it.
Yeah, we talk about the anime. But that we're just pointing out that, some audiences grow up. Sometimes you have to read. And James Gunn is the person to look at stuff going, like how you said, Batman doesn't touch Barbara Gordon. We're not doing that.
Yeah. But come on over, man. Have fun.
Come on over, have fun. And the moral of this episode is, watch Creature Commandos. Tune in.
Just watch Creature Commandos. I know we got off topic a lot, but watch.
That's the point of DC. We stayed on with DC. We talked about DC. I love talking about DC.
We went to Marvel, too.
Well, that was just to compare, people are comparing reshoots to a day and a half of just pickup shots that you want to enhance a film. That's not rewriting a film entirely and adding a whole other character.
Yeah. But, go watch Creature Commandos. It's my favorite show of the year.
Creature Commandos?
I think so.
It's getting there.
But I mean, granted, I haven't watched that much television.
There's been not a lot of good television, though.
Yeah.
But, that's for another
Yeah.
episode, and we'll talk about maybe your best favorite DC television series. What we thought was, where we set the bar for a lot of this stuff.
Yeah.
Going forward. But, all right, that's been episode 3, the Creature Commandos review. Hope you guys enjoyed it. And hope you guys enjoyed us getting off topic more. If you like us getting off topic, let us know.
Yeah.
Well, maybe we'll do another, just spin-off, episode here and there. If something
Called Off Topic.
Yeah, off the top or off topic.
We'll grab a topic, be like Batman, and we just see how far off topic we can get.
But let us know if you're liking Creature Commandos, like we said.
Yeah.
And just a reminder, I'm Lorenzo.
I'm Todd.
This was
next week we'll have Adam.
Yeah, next week we'll have Adam and he won't be sick. Hopefully he's pumped enough medicine ball from Starbucks in him, where it's like an IV just and he's going. Ah!
But we'll continue with reviewing each episode of Creature Commandos. We're also going to be going back to talking about comic books.
And who knows? Maybe there's a trailer next week for Superman.